Marco from Inspector Detector. We're going to look at a attic area. The door, if you find any doors that go into the attic area, they require insulation. Also the door, this one doesn't have it, requires a lock. Because little Johnny's going to come in here, play hide and go seek with his cousin. They're going to open, they're going to go walking on the roof, and they're going to fall through the ceiling. So safety, definitely make sure there's a lock on the door. Insulation isn't always required if it's in a closet and there's a door and then a door within the closet, because the closet becomes basically the buffer into the home. This one's got a door. Make sure you mention what it is, if it's a door, a trap door, or a ladder. The garage downstairs had a normal trap door. I couldn't get to it because they stored items. Make sure you write there, unable to access the attic above the garage due to stored items. Please, it's important, don't go, it's the garage, it's fine, because Murphy's Law, that's where there's going to be a leak and you're going to become responsible for it. So again, limitations, very important in home inspections. Here we have the vents. Make sure you have a look at them. This one's the dryer vent. Sometimes you have the gas vent for a hot water heater or something. Have a look to the top, look where it goes up. Take your flashlight, look around it. You can turn the lights off as well. If you see a lot of light coming in, that means the caulking around the flashing hasn't been done correctly. So that needs to be looked at. If you find tiles like this, I always take a picture of the tiling in that and put it in informational to tell the client additional tiles for the home were noted in the attic area. When you walk into the attic area, look at the ducting. Now, we are not responsible to calculate where the ducting, the registers must be. However, we do look whether the straps have been made too tight. You don't want it crushed. Be aware that sometimes it can be tight because the exterior material is an insulation. We're more concerned about the interior pipe of the ducting. Make also sure that all angles and turns are done gradually. You don't want a 90-degree angle or going over a truss where it's bent and crushed. That will definitely restrict it. So beware to have a look at it. Look at your insulation as well. Make sure it's nicely covered. I can see someone was here before. They took a walk to the dormer. They have moved all the insulation away. When you go all the way, when you walk back, please just cover the insulation. Very important. If you're going to walk on trusses, do not assume there is a truss where you're going to step. Move the insulation away to make sure there's a truss and then step on it, but first put gentle weight before all your weight, because you don't know if that truss is damaged. I've had it where I've been in construction, I've been doing this for 30 years, and a guy walked on the truss and there was a cracked truss and he went right through the ceiling. So beware, this hides defects. Write it up as well. Limitation, unable to see all angles of the attic due to ducting and insulation. This home in particular has a radon barrier, which is the silver on the inside of the roof sheathing. That is a limitation as well, because if there is a leak on where it's been nailed, that's not always going to be visible for you to see. Have a look. Today you'll see vent pipes coming up like this with a Studer vent on top of it. These are allowed. These are also great sometimes if you need to do your sewer scope and you can't get access anywhere. You can just screw this off and drop your sewer scope line down into the vent. Always have a look if there are a lot of steps. Make sure that there's some graspable kind of railing on the side. When you look at trusses, always look at the plates, that they're not damaged or broken. Look up every single truss along the queen post and the king post. Do a course on it, understand how trusses are designed. When it's just a rafter, roof, make sure there is supporting joints on all the areas. Always look in the valleys. That's where you're going to find leaks or water stains. If you see water stains, do not say it's a leak. Say stains noted at the front valley of the home. Have it investigated, because it could be a leak that was there before and the roof had been replaced, and now you're making an assumption of something you're not sure. So just identify and give it to a licensed contractor. Especially trusses, you've got to look at is where the knots are. Sometimes the knots are so big when they did the installation, there's a crack. Also beware when you see a stud and there's two 2x4s, one on each side at least a couple of feet, and they've been nailed quite considerably. That's usually a repair to a truss. Please write that up under the summary. Sometimes you'll see they've used a piece of sheathing they've cut, especially at the top where it meets. Again, that is a repair. Write it up in the report. Another thing to notice with attics, always look with your flashlight at the top where the ridge is to make sure there is a gap. I have found often, especially on new built homes, there's like not even a ½ inch gap. It definitely needs to be 1.5 inches on both of them coming together for a ridge van to operate correctly. So make sure, usually the end where the gable walls are, that first couple of feet is not vented. So if you don't see that, don't write it up. It's a couple of feet back, and then your ridge vent will run all the way. Look also on the soffit side that the insulation is pulled away, that they haven't pushed it all through over the soffits. Usually they got some sort of cardboard backing to keep it open. We are not doing a rodent or pest inspection on a home. We are a home inspector. However, if you see rodent droppings, you see holes in the insulation or disturbed insulation. Raccoons love playing on insulation. It looks like a kid has got in there and there's just insulation everywhere. Look for holes, especially under the dormers where they meet. Raccoons love to push up the PVC soffits. They come in and they love living in an attic area. Squirrels can come in, bats can come in. When you see bats, don't disturb them. They cannot be removed. Find out once they start nesting, they have to stay for the incubation period till the young are old enough to fly and leave, and then the repair can be done. So please make sure your clients do know that if there are any bats in the roof. But do limitation in your report. We do not do rodent or insect inspections.